Okay, so start with your introduction.
Uh, Very good evening to everyone. My name is Atharva Prashant Mahamunkar. I belong to the Raigad district in Maharashtra, where I belong to Mahad Tehsil. Uh, I personally want to tell about where I developed my interest. Uh, I developed my interest in political science since very young age, and for that very particular reason, right now I'm currently pursuing political science from Ferguson College in Pune, where I am right now currently in my last semester of my college. Uh, and about more about myself is that I am a very good orator, as well as I'm very much keenly interested in following politics as well.
I did not hear about. Did you talk about your parents?
Yes, sir.
So what do they do?
My mother is a practicing lawyer, whereas my father is a working professional in HR at a pharmaceutical firm in Mahad.
Okay, so in what area does your mother practice?
My mother mostly practice in crime and civil affairs
Crime
of
and
law.
civil affairs. Uh, does she also get political cases or
Yes,
constitutional
she
case?
does. Yes, she does. But uh, the political cases mostly in my area are very much minimal. The quantity of it are very much minimal. So she takes political cases, but they are not quite frequent over here.
Okay, so don't you think to be a lawyer ahead?
Uh, Actually, I do not aim to be a lawyer because personally it's not my area of interest. It doesn't excites me as much as politics does. But it never really excites me. So law is not an option for me.
Okay, so what do you want to be?
Uh, Mostly, I want to work in the technology and defense sector policies in the future, as well as I would really like to join in politics in near future.
Okay, so for politics, law would be a very great uh, background for you. So if you may see that lots of politicians are actually coming out from law background. So why do you want to go for public policy rather than law if your long-term goal is more uh, long-term goal gets more validated by law degree?
Surely, there are many such politicians or the working professional who opt for law, but public policy and more importantly in that defense sector and the technological sector is what I have developed my area of interest throughout my last 3 years of graduation.
Okay, ठीक है.
Law, no,
Let's leave that topic. You were
okay,
talking
sir.
about that you want to be in either technology sector or defense sector. So just give me a gist that what kind of requirement is there for technology sector, the requirement in terms of policy requirements, and what government has already done, and what extra there is extra need to be done in near future.
So the first three things that government needs to get in needs to get done is what I feel about introducing more stricter IT laws that would protect the data of our citizens. Because nowadays we are seeing various cyber attacks happening onto our government websites, as well as not only government but also the private entities as well. So developing a secure firewall protecting our data by introducing stronger IT laws will be the second thing. And third will be the most important thing that is regarding the technological sector is what I believe is the indigenization of the data storage that we have in our country, because the data storage that we currently do is mostly we export our data to foreign data centers. So I believe that we should build our own data centers in the near future is what are the three major requirements, recommendations of mine towards the government. And what I feel that the current government has done extremely well in about the technological sector is that they are getting aware and started to develop new laws in terms of IT regulations by protecting the data of our citizens by banning several apps or by restricting them to a limited access is what I feel government is doing really well right now about the technological sector.
Okay. And what about the defense? Like, how did you think to?
Defense sec Okay. Defense sector is mostly, I believe that technological sector and defense sector are mostly drawing parallels to each other. Defense sector, as I said before, in the technological sector as well, that defense sector needs to be indigenized, that we need to instead of importing, we need to export our defense sector. But for our defense sector to export, we need to bring in more private players in our defense sector, like producing more and more defense ammunitions, weapons, etc., and try to reduce the imports by importing the weapons and technology as well. We should import technology instead of importing the weapons. Like for example, we bought Rafael.
Okay, tell
Uh,
me, how have you thought to reach uh, this goal of being functional or working for IT and defense policies? So, how will you achieve that? What is the path that you have thought for yourself?
uh, Sure, sure, sure. Currently, I'm preparing for my master's program as well in public policy. Through that, I really want to develop my strong foundational background in public policy, in specifically towards the technological policies as well as the defense policies. I want to pursue my master's in public policy, where I want to keep my majority of focus towards the defense as well as the technological policies. That will be my future aim and towards pursuing future goals in this sector.
So, why do you want to put 1 year of yours this path for PRS or like
Uh,
for this LAM fellowship?
so there's a incident that I would like to recall. In my college, we had the lecture of Supriya Sule, where she talked about the mental health bill, which she introduced in Parliament, and where she talked about how her LAM fellows helped her in drafting that policy as well as that bill in the Parliament. Since then, it really amazed me that how a graduate can help a member of Parliament who is chosen by around 12 lakh voters who to draft a policy brief in the parliament, which directly or indirectly makes you involved in the legislature process of the world's largest democracy. So I want to really work with PRS as a LAMP fellow.
Got the point. Longfellows actually gets a lot of things to do,
Yes,
or
sir.
working with MPs also make them or get them reach for many issues which are currently important and all the people are talking about.
Yes.
But how this particular fellowship program will fast forward or uh, give depth to your future endeavor?
Surely, sir. Working with an fellow MP will on various policies, not only my area of interest, but I would like to get I will explore a lot of sectors in this as well as working in the parliament will surely help me to understand more of the legislature process as well as the while traveling to that particular MP's constituency. I would like I would like to explore the grassroots of that particular constituency and get to know what exactly the people of that particular constituency requires. How should the policy be framed, or how should be any rules or regulations that are implemented in our parliament should be framed, taking in care about the last person of the country possible. So this will be help. LAMP fellowship would help me really. really well in my future studies as well. Not only that, but also understanding our country and uh, and our constituency and our policy making process as well, which will help me in my near future as well as my education as well as my job opportunities as well.
Okay. What is the recent bill that government has brought, central government has brought for IT or information technology? Do you know
Um,
any path of the bills, or what was the last bill that government has brought?
As much as I can recall, so it was the broadcast bill of 2024, uh, which was put forward toward the Joint Parliamentary Committee for recommendations. In that particular bill, it is been stated about how to have a regulatory body which will control the media, which will control the social media and its content. As we can now see, a lot of this, many hate speeches, whereas AI generated image as well as videos have been circulating uh, throughout our social media. That bill will introduce a regulatory body that will censor particular social media content which can harm uh, public sentiments as well as can create distress among society as well.
So why this bill was being opposed
So the
by
major
different media
reason that
houses or
the
civil
opposition
societies?
major reason the opposition has put forth is that this bill can be introduced uh, to curb the voice of the criticization of the government, was what the major concern of the current opposition is about this bill, as well as it can also lead to a censorship, whereas the pro-government content will be enhanced and will be shared by the public, not by the public, but by the particular algorithm of the social media, whereas the anti-government bills or the anti-government content will be much more censored and cannot be put forward in the social media's algorithm, is what was the major concern of the opposition of our country.
Okay, so Atharva, I'm just like stopping the interview right now because there are a lot of things to be considered again. Uh, Otherwise, I could have asked some GK based question, or I could have asked what's your opinion in the same policy. So we'll do a complete interview later also. बट यहाँ पे
Sure,
ना
sir.
कुछ कुछ चीजें प्रॉब्लमेटिक है तुम्हारे साथ. एक तो वो फॉर गोइंग इन technology related policy or defense related policy, and most of the thing that you talked about was mainly from regulations. uh,
Okay.
जब हम पॉलिसी मतलब रेगुलेटरी इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग है ना. हाउ टू रेगुलेट इंडस्ट्री, हाउ टू रेगुलेट मार्केट, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट aspect of policy. अभी जो टेक्नोलॉजी में आवर नीड ऑफ पॉलिसी और द इंडियाज नीड ऑफ पॉलिसी फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी इज टू प्रमोट टेक्नोलॉजी, to to utilize or to harness technology for most of our problems. So we need to make policies which help or which boost the uses of technology among uh, common people also. So I remember when I was doing my MBA, government of India was having a 500 crore rupees project where they wanted to promote information technology or ITES services, use of ITES services to all the citizen of as much as possible. And because at that time American government had stopped outsourcing, to get employment had Indian land, they wanted all the people whosoever is having any job or any business, they should start using technology. So such kind of thing government always does, and we need to bring policy to facilitate it. And when we say about technology, it's just not just information technology, because जब आपने technology बोला तो मुझे लगा कि you will also bring other aspect of technology, मतलब other than IT. You know, we are
AI as
not
well.
very, not AI is also IT. So we are not having enough growth in manufacturing technology. We are not having enough growth in robotics. We are not having enough growth in even machine learning, not machine learning, machine designs, or the only thing or only area where we are still progressing is automobile because of a lot of private funding in R&D of automobile engineering. Otherwise, we are not able to match the research and R&D of developed country in any other technology apart from automobile, and sometimes you can say the kind of R&D the ISRO is doing. So it is quite like uh, we can appreciate that, but in all other area we are not able to match with international standard. So आप जब आप पॉलिसी रिक्वायरमेंट की बात कर रहे थे तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि यू विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट इन दैट सेंस, बट मोस्टली यू टॉक्ड अबाउट रेगुलेशन, और उसमें भी आईटी, और आईटी में भी नहीं मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटेड, मतलब सॉरी इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड, है ना, जो कम्युनिकेशन रिलेटेड
Okay,
रेगुलेशंस।
sir.
और डिफेंस में भी आई डिड नॉट फाइंड वेरी मतलब कंक्रीट अलाइनमेंट विद वेयर डू वांट टू गो। और दूसरी बात ये है कि जब आप पब्लिक पॉलिसी पढ़ते हो तो it's always also about, it's not about advocacy, or it's not about just making policy. It's the entire process of policy, entire all the phases of it will be about all the phases of policy making. तो आप सारी चीजें सीखोगे, रिसर्च फॉर पॉलिसी एंड गवर्नेंस फॉर पॉलिसी, सिस्टम रिक्वायरमेंट, फाइनेंसेस, स्टेप्स, है ना, कंट्रोल मैकेनिज्म, इवैल्यूएशन, एवरीथिंग विल बी लर्निंग देयर। तो वही जो शुरू में ना, अदरवाइज लास्ट टाइम व्हेन आई वाज टॉकिंग टू यू यस्टरडे, तो ऐसा बहुत उसमें मतलब ट्रायल से योर ओवरऑल आउटलुक इज ओके, बट डेप्थ में थोड़ा यहाँ प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है। सो इफ विल गेट इन एनी ऑफ दीज डेप्थ, दे विल गेट इन एनी ऑफ दीज डेप्थ, तो वो तुम्हारा। और दूसरा ये, हाँ, when I asked you why do you want to do a LAMP fellowship, तो you gave the example of Supriya Sule, that was fine, the example से कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, but just to suggest you or just to give you an idea कि ये लोग जो MP ये लोग है ना, ये जनरली क्या करते हैं कि दे मतलब पॉलिसीज जो है इंडिया में अभी भी ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के पास होती है, दे आर द वन हु मेक पॉलिसी एंड वर्क फॉर पॉलिसी। तो और ब्यूरोक्रेट्स भी बहुत सब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड ट्रेंड नहीं होते,
Hmm.
just because of their learning at Indian bureaucratic system, they know how to write, how to be under the compliance of constitution and government rules and regulations, and they also understand the current government's needs, and how to safeguard the government's yeah stakeholder from the government. तो क्या होता है कि अच्छी पॉलिसी बन नहीं पाती है। I'll give you an example. Amravati city बन रही थी, and there
Hmm.
was an IPS officer who was the head of design of that city. What's he told once that कि मेरे बच्चे ने बोला कि मम्मा आप इतने सारे वो आ रहे हैं, विदेशों से एक्सपर्ट्स आएंगे, उनके बच्चे कहाँ पढ़ेंगे। देन वी हैड एन आइडिया ऑफ इंटरनेशनल स्कूल। तुम समझ रहे हो ना, मतलब ये एडहॉक
Yes, sir.
तरीके से दे आर प्लानिंग द सिटीज, इट्स वेरी बैड। So that's what we want to change. मतलब not we, मतलब we all who are like क्या बोलेंगे हम उसको, वॉइस फॉर पब्लिक पॉलिसी की, पब्लिक पॉलिसी एक्सपर्ट्स को आपको चांस देना चाहिए, या फिर देयर शुड बी अ मतलब लॉट ऑफ टॉक अबाउट पॉलिसी एंड इट्स इफेक्टिवनेस, ठीक है। मैं एक बार
Sir.
रुको यहाँ बंद करता हूँ।